Bless the Lord, O my soul, and all that is within me. Bless his holy name.
The saints have devised various ways in order to discipline the body in its desires. The body has its desires. And yes, it's so difficult to get out of these desires. So what the saints usually do is to mortify the body so that it will not give the body what it wants. Our life is a life of ritual. You wake up in the morning, you do this, you do this, you do this, and then you go to work, and at work you do this, and then when you go home by 5 o'clock, your body is already tired, and then it starts to think of things, how to relax, and part of the experience that you have perhaps when you were young to relax is to relieve yourself, or to some people to eat, or to some people to watch movies, or listen to music, or do sports. Those are the usual things. Now, some of those actions are very productive, very helpful, like sports and everything, or listening to music. But some actions might all the more trigger us, like watching or reading, especially when we start to watch or read visually charged movies or sounds. Then our body now elevates. So the saints, in order to train the body, disciplines the body in some harsh way. This is where you find the word, the practice of fasting, abstinence, mortification. And when you have mortification, it also brings in the idea of, let's say, minor bodily discipline. We call this the discipline or the suplina. People flagellate, etc. In our time, in the 20th century and the 21st century, that is, wow, we are not used to that. But you get to understand that these were the ways by which they try to discipline their body so that they will not give in to what the body does. So your question is very important, because now when you ask advice, the advice that one can give is that how do you discipline your body so that it will not succumb to what it desires. So if let's say, if you want to eat, what kind of food are you going to eat? If you're going to eat all junk food, then all salty food, or all sweet food, or something healthy, and how much would that be in terms of the amount, etc. And what would it do to your body if you do this? Or you prefer to sleep, but then before you sleep, you start to watch things, and then it charges you. You see, so this is now where the practical things come in, because it requires a disciplined disposition. And the disciplined disposition becomes very important. On my part, when I was a student, I always tell myself I should be sleeping by 9:30 p.m. If I'm going to wake up early, let's say 4, to study, I must sleep earlier. So you really discipline yourself, because if you sleep anything later, then it will have an effect on your waking up disposition. And and on your mental capacity. So really, really, that's why it's called mortification, because you mortify or you discipline your body in that sense. So when I was, let me say, on a personal note, when I was a young student brother, like a young seminarian, I had an Indian. Now we had a Dominican Indian priest in our convent. And when I go to confession there, at one confession, he told me, Winston, do you like red meat? Red meat. Oh, yes, Father, I love red meat. Do you like spices? Oh, yes, I like spices. So he would give me now the penance. So for your penance, the penance, do not eat a lot of red meat and do not take a lot of spices. But then you have to ask, Father, what does a lot mean? So it means that you should not gorge yourself at that time. You should not gorge yourself with red meat. Eat a lot of red meat. Do not eat a lot of red meat. And do not put a lot of spices where your body becomes very hot. So what he's saying here is, okay, mortify, do not eat a lot of meat, and do not put a lot of spices. It took a while for me to understand what he really wanted me to do. And it took a while for me to understand what that is all about.